Imagine yourself in front of the room. All eyes are on you. You're a little bit nervous, your hands are shaking because you have exactly 30 minutes to prove to the entire company that the plan you've been working on for months is good to go. And don't worry about it, you've done some prep. You have practiced with your boss, you've practiced with your friends. Your dogs won't even come in the room anymore because you have talked to them so many times about this presentation, right? And all of your presentation practice has paid off because you are killing it. Like as you're out there talking, heads are nodding, people are smiling. It's all the good things that you expect to happen. And about 20 minutes in, you take a breath and you're taking a sip of water and your boss comes in and says 3 simple words that you will never, ever forget. What is this? Said with such disgust and disdain that you actually cringe. And as he began to chew my ass over every single thing that was wrong with this presentation, with the details, with the data, I just shrunk into a puddle of just, that shame and deception. My moment of triumph turned into defeat. It was horrible. Now that would suck for anybody, right? But let me tell you why it sucked even more for me, okay? Because this presentation and this job had come on the heels of an absolutely devastating divorce. One that really, truly almost ended me. If you've been there, you know what I'm talking about. And this was supposed to be my independent woman rising from the ashes type thing, And as you can tell based on this, it was clearly anything but. And the reality was, I wasn't that surprised because my boss, this wasn't the first time he'd done that. He was what we could nicely call a bully. He was great at many things, but man, he wasn't nice. And I was a bully's dream because I was a people pleaser. All I wanted to do, every decision I made, every action I took, everything I did and thought of throughout the day was designed to make you like me. And I had been so good at it for so long, but for some reason it was failing me now. I had tried it in my work, I had tried it in my personal life, I had tried it in my marriage, I had tried it with friends, and it wasn't working. And so I figured, this blow up at work was the time that it was time to take a look at what exactly was happening, right? And so I took a look around, and then I took a look inside. And you know what? I didn't like what I saw, because basically there was nothing there. You see, I had spent so much time in my life making other people happy that I'd forgotten to ask myself what I wanted and what was important to me. And I thought of the people out there, the kick-ass badasses out there that I knew who wouldn't have sat in that meeting and let that happen. They would have stood up for themselves and they would have won, or they would have at least gone down punting and fighting, right? And I realized that they knew something that I didn't. It was that there was an element of choice. They could choose what they allowed in their life and what they didn't. And I didn't know that up until then. But man, as Gloria Steinem once said, the truth will set you free, but first it'll what? Piss you off, right? And so I knew I was going in the right direction because man, I was pissed. I was so pissed. And I was pissed at myself because I had allowed all this to happen. Nobody had told me that I was a people pleaser or that I needed to be one. I had decided it for myself. And so I thought about, could I change? Could I be a badass like my aunt who, even when she was in the throes of terminal cancer, always encouraged me to be exactly who I wanted to be and do what was best for me. And so I thought, you know what, could I do it? Could I make these choices? Could I stand up for myself? And I quit the job, right? I quit the job. And so when I quit the job, man, it was a bad idea at first because I was terrified, okay? It sucked. But you know what it was also the most free I have ever felt in my entire life. Because for once, I was finally making decisions for myself. I was making the decision that, for example, I was here talking to all of you with 9 other amazing people sharing their stories of triumph over adversity, right? And every day now, since I quit that job, I get to talk to people about it. I get to talk to people about making these choices. And I love every minute of it because what I get to do is tell them, you know what, you can make the choice. And they say, Laura, I can't go and quit my job. I can't quit my job at all. And I say, you know what, you can't quit your job, but what you can do is make a small step. You can take a small step into loving something new. You could take a small step away from something that doesn't work for you, and you can make that choice. And in it, you can find the most freedom that you have ever felt in your entire life. And doesn't that sound like it's worth it? What do you guys think? Let's do it. Let's make a choice to choose freedom over fear and make it an amazing day.